Okay, I'm going to go over the system and its hookups. You have two speaker cables, which are banana clips, white and black, which the white represents positive. Just go ahead and match it up on the two top speaker inputs. Then you have, wherever you want in the back, you just have to choose the source. You put your laptop cable, dual RCA. It'll be a different color because I'm going to give you different cables. I'm just using one cable just for this. This is the fourth microphone. You'll notice it's color coded. The part that goes into the laptop, you just plug right into wherever your headphone jack is on your computer. You want to make sure it's in there and that it's set in and you don't mess around with it. Go to the front here. You have the other three microphones. I color coded everything for you. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing with all the microphones. You have the laptop stand. Running through here, you can clean up the wires however you want. Then the back of the speaker, 1/4 inch. Then what you do is you turn on the system, power button, hold in the wireless receiver until it boots up. Same thing here. And the one thing I'll have you do when you get it is there's arrows right here. And if you notice, frequency, squelch, name, you could actually change the name. Look in the book and it will show you. Display, auto search. Then you press, once you hit auto search, press enter, change the arrow up yes, and then auto scan each one of these to find the best. Once it finds it and it stops, what you'll do is you'll turn on the handheld right here, hold it in till it comes on, have it facing this way. Then what you're going to do is now you're going to go to all the way over to the bottom where it says IR. That's infrared. It blinks no, hit the arrow, yes, enter. See how it changed it? So now it's the same. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Turn it off. You take your next one, do the same thing. Just read the manual. If you run into where it's distorted, doesn't sound right, rescan it. So you want to scan all 4 for the best frequency. Now, the amplifier itself, you have your music volume. When you get it, I'll have it right around 2. But you want to, gradually go up. You never want to go full. So that's where you're going to control your volume on your music. Here is the main echo volume, which that I have right around 6. Adjust it however you want. Over here is an actual USB player. You could have MP3s, put it in here, and then go ahead and play music. But you could also record. So if you're playing karaoke off your laptop and you're singing through the microphones, you could put a thumb drive in here and then you could press record. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that right now and just put a thumb drive in here just to try it. It will go blank. I held in record. I see that. Now I'm going to hold it in again. Hang on 1 second. Well, actually, I probably want to have some sort of signal going through it. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. I held that in. See how it's recording? Once I'm done, I'll press stop. It'll say that it's saving the file. Please wait. Being that it's not a professional recorder, it's going to take a little bit. And the longer it is, it's going to take longer. Once it's done, it will show you that it's done. Once it's done, it will give it a number. Then what we'll do, we'll bring up your volume a little bit here. We're going to go ahead and bring it up to the computer. And then basically what you do is you go ahead and open this up as far as finding the folder. You go to that folder, and it made a folder called Record. Now there's 3 in here because I had already did something last night when I was messing with the system.
1, 2. I held that in, see how it's...
So I recorded myself even last night. I think I might have did a little bit of music. So that's recording the music. So I tried this 3 times just to test it. Yeah, that's me acting like a rapper. That was me acting like a rapper. Really cool. Alright, so that's how you could use that. Now, we'll go over, you could also use an SD card, but you want to make sure you use something as good as class 10 or higher. You'll see your mic volumes here. If you're way in front of your speakers when you're singing, about 15 feet away from them, you could increase this further. You just have to be careful, because if you're close, you'll start to hear that feedback and ringing noise. Now let's go over the bottom here. First 3 set is music tone. That's your bass and treble. I have the bass right around 10 o'clock, the treble right around 11 o'clock. The balance is straight up and down. Adjust this however you want, whatever you think works best. Then the microphone tone. You'll notice that I have the bass low, the mids are high, and the treble is, so the treble's around 11:30. The mid, if you think of a clock, is right around almost 3 o'clock, 2 and 3 o'clock. And then this is right around between 9 and 10 o'clock. Then you have the echo effect. This is how much repeat and delay. So if I was to take a microphone, check 1, 2, and I increase the repeat. In fact, I'll turn this around so we can get more volume here. So right now you just have regular echo. If you increase the repeat, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. You get rid of the repeat altogether, check 1, 2. So what I'm doing is when you do the delay, so if I had no delay, check 1, 2, bring in the delay, check 1, 2. So just adjust it however you want. Treble, mid, bass, you'll see it's set just like this. Change it however you want, whatever you think is going to work best. Microphones are here, you can go higher. Check 1, 2. As long as you're well behind the speakers, let me try to do this and see if I can get feedback. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. But also notice when you bring this up higher, you're also going to introduce more static. And let's go up to the speaker real quick. Bring it close to the horn so you can hear it. Now I'm going to bring this down, keep it there. So when I'm around 14 to 16 on the knob, that's considered acceptable. Because when you're playing music and so forth, you're not going to really hear it. It's not going to interfere. One of the things that the system has, when you're not doing anything, it has a limiter. So you hear how, go back up to the speaker, you don't hear anything. But when you initiate anything, turn on the microphones, Check 1, 2. See how it introduces? That's basically what most, your standard system sounds like, unless you get into higher end gear. You have that standard hiss. Okay. That's pretty much it. And as far as playing the music, you just want to make sure wherever you have the things plugged in, you want to make sure that you're there. So you could plug it in auxiliary, here, in the back. And then MP3 is if you went over to MP3 and you wanted to just play regular MP3 music. So these are additional features that were not in your, the amplifier was giving you. The amplifier I was giving you did not have a recorder, did not have an MP3 player. Then let's go in the back and I'll show you something else that this has. Over here, you could take a powered sub, 2 of them, left and right, and you could control the frequency, the volume, and the amount of bass. So you could put a powered sub with this with no problems at all. Then the HDMI splitter box, when you receive that, just go out of your HDMI of your computer, and what you do is you go into the box. In fact, I'll show you another box that's similar but doesn't really do the same thing. But when you get your splitter, it'll have one where you bring the HDMI in from the computer, and then it will have 4 other ones that go out and split to different TVs. And that's how you'll run that. Then as far as setting up your karaoke, if you're on, let's just go to YouTube real quick. So let's say you're doing YouTube. One of the first things you want to do is you want to make sure you go to your desktop, make sure you're in a clear area, right click it. Then go ahead and go to screen resolution. Now right now I only have just the one screen, but when you have an extra screen, it's going to show you that it has an extra screen, and then you would change the top section to duplicate these displays. So then that way, whatever you see on your computer, you're going to see on the actual screen. And we'll go over the now, you hear that? That's coming out of the laptop. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and unplug this, plug it back in. Now it reset it because I changed from MP3 to this, and it ended up knocking it off here. So I reset it. Check 1 2, check 1 2. So the music, you're not going to have that loud when you're doing karaoke, but you'll be able to increase the volume of the microphone. And one of the things I want to tell you to do, look at the microphone right here. This is how you want to use it. Someone starts using it like this, you want to make sure that they're talking directly into the top of the microphone. Check 1 2. And they're holding it right around here. You don't want them pumping it, nothing like that. So you just want it straight like this. Be sure to read the manuals and everything. Now, as far as your TV, we'll go over here, look at the box. Here's a surprise. I was supposed to get you a 19-inch TV. I ended up getting you a 32-inch TV. And you have your HDMIs in here, one coming out of the computer, one that's going to come out of that box. You have your bag for the stand, speaker stands in here. when you put this together, you take those chrome knobs off there, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the screws and put it on the back of that TV, put it in there, and then put this plate back on the lip, put those chromes on, then you set this on top of the stand and you're good to go. So that's pretty much it for your system.